Welcome back to WagerTalk.com. I'm Marco D'Angelo, joined by Bryan Leonard. We're going to talk some baseball season win totals. Up next, we've been previewing all spring here, season win totals from our futures expert, Bryan Leonard. You're going to take a look at Seattle, over 87 wins. Tell us what you're looking at here, Bryan.
Yeah, after I've given you 3 plays, all on the under, I figured I better give her some over here. I really like this Seattle team. This was a team last year after the season. They had a Pythagorean record of 97.5. Now we're asking them to win basically the same thing, cashes for you. And, take a look at the team from last year compared to now. The people that they have lost, I don't like any of them. Brandon Moore is probably going to have more success coming out of the bullpen in San Diego than any of the guys that they lost. But they brought in a guy, I don't know, it may have been the home run champ last year in the American League. That's something that Seattle needed because that ballpark, they don't hit a lot of home runs. They needed that bat in the lineup. So now they bring him in, and you're looking for a similar number. Take a look at the starting pitchers. Obviously, Felix had a tremendous year. He's going to regress a little bit, but he's still Felix. He's a great pitcher.
How many more wins do you think he would have in his career if he was on just an average
team was going to score 4.5 runs? He would have a lot. Problem is, he's also pitching in that same environment, so you don't know if he'd be quite as good, although he's been pretty lights out on the road also. But, Iwakuma last year missed some starts. And as an older guy, he's going to miss a few. But take a look at the back of that rotation. They got a lot of young guys that they brought up through the system. And a lot of teams rush their stars up, especially in the pitching department. Seattle hasn't done that. Seattle's had these guys for years that I've been reading about. Holston hasn't worked out, but the guys at the back end that they expect this year, Paxton and...
Well, Paxton's the one that I want to bring up because this is a guy that's got tremendous stuff. And every stint that he's had where they've brought him up, he's pitched very, very well. The problem's been he's injury prone. And can he get a healthy year out of him?
Well, that's the thing. The guys they've got in the back, they're young players, but they are injury prone. But they've got some guys in the minors that they could bring up there. They're pretty deep in that regard.
Walker?
Yeah, Walker's probably going to be the number 5 starter. We saw him last year down in spring training, and the guy's got a gun. But they've got a very good starting rotation. They got some guys in the minors. And the bullpen, they've got a very good bullpen there. And unlike past years with Seattle, they actually have some guys that can, Seager is turned into a great player over at third base. I like the Seattle team, and like I said, Pythagorean last year was how many they should have won based on the runs scored at 87.5. If they repeat that, we get a winner, and I think they're a better team this year.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you. The one addition they made that I scratched my head a little bit with, I'm not a J.A. Happ fan. This is a 32-year-old journeyman. What are you expecting out of him?
Yeah, well, J.A. Happ, he pitched in Toronto. He pitched in Philadelphia. He's a fly ball pitcher. You don't want to be pitching in either one of those places. So now he's going into a ballpark. Fly balls aren't going to kill him. He's in a division. The fly balls aren't going to kill you. And an additional thing that I didn't mention earlier, they were a lousy team in one-run games. We all know one-run games, if you have one year you're really good, next year you're going to regress a little bit. And they only won 40% of those one-run games last year. They get up to 50, that's another 4 or 5 wins. So you got a team here in Seattle, I think, is actually, they may be the team to beat in that division. I know I like some of the other teams also, but
I was going to say, do you expect Oakland and the Angels to come back a little bit, as well as Seattle moving forward?
Yeah, I like the Oakland team. I don't like them quite as much now. I like them better as the year goes on when they get some of the starting pitchers that were injured back. The Angels, I like the Angels, but they're not going to win as many games as they did last year. It's hard to win that type of games. But Seattle at this point, I think, has some value to win this division.
And obviously Texas took a hit with the injury. So
yeah, Texas looks like another repeat year out of them.
All right, well, there you have it. Bryan says to go ahead and take the Seattle Mariners over 87 wins. As we've said it over and over, Bryan, this is his specialty, futures, especially the baseball season win totals. He says take over in Seattle. We're going to come back, take a look at another season win total, one that I'm going to be a little interested in and see what Bryan says. He's going to preview the Pittsburgh Pirates up next. WagerTalk.com.